Hello everyone, my name is Where You Really Don't Care What My Name Is, and well, we're a few weeks away from Christmas, and I cannot wait for this holiday. I mean, I love Christmas. I love spending time with my family, I love spending time with my nieces, and I love celebrating this holiday with my loved ones. And I also hope everyone's gonna have a good time when we get to Christmas. And I decided, well, around this time, we get a lot of good holiday movies. A lot of them, are very memorable. A lot of them make a tear up, and many of them are just good films you can sit down and watch. However, there are some films out there that don't do very well. In fact, many of them turn out to be terrible. So that's why I'm going to give my top 5 worst Christmas movies ever. Now keep in mind, these are movies that are in theaters, they came in theaters, not ones from direct to video or ones that went directly to television. And why top 5? Because unlike many people, I like to keep my list short. So let's start off with number 5, Fred Claus. Okay, so you would think when you have an actor like Vince Vaughn playing the brother of Paul Giamatti's character Santa Claus, you would think they're gonna do well with this movie and would, well, have some fun and give us some pretty good material to laugh at. Unfortunately, not in this case. The movie involves Vince Vaughn playing as a terrible character. Like, you really don't care about this guy at all. He is a jerk, he is mean, and he treats his brother so terribly. When they were young, his brother accidentally cut down the tree of this bird that he liked, but even so, that's years later. The guy grows up to be a real jerk, and you really don't like him at all. You don't like Vince Vaughn's character at all, not one bit. There were times when it looked like he should have changed to, get better, but no. No, not at all. And I didn't even like Paul Giamatti's character either. I didn't like this version of Santa Claus. He was, well, a pushover, and it sucked a lot. And what I also liked is the villain that plays in this movie, who is a businessman who wants to shut down Santa Claus because when he was a kid he didn't get a cape like he wanted, so he can be like Superman. So he does everything in his power when he's an adult to try to shut down Santa Claus. So that was kind of dumb when you really think about it. The jokes here are not good. The slapsticks are not good either. It's just not a very good film. And Paul Giamatti, I love the guy, I really do. But him playing a Santa Claus, not a good role. However, I keep this short on the list because even though it was bad, I don't consider it the worst. Because trust me, we're just getting started. So let's go on to number 4, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Alright, that title alone should be good, right? Santa Claus going to Mars, kicking some Martian butt, and getting back at them because every single sci-fi movie we have Martians kicking our butts. Now Santa Claus goes over there and kicks their butts. That should be awesome, right? Well, no, unfortunately not. This movie does not give us that great opportunity. So in this movie, Santa Claus gets kidnapped by the Martians because they want him to help them with their children who are unable to sleep, and they keep him around so they can celebrate Christmas on their planet and keep him there forever. So yeah, that's one problem with the story. There's something else also about some villain who wants to kill Santa or something. I don't know. I really lost my attention to the story, really just disappeared. The acting also was terrible. I mean, oh man, I hated this. The acting with the children was not good. The acting with the adults was not good. There's also a character in this movie who I really hated. I You can watch this review of Santa Claus Conquers the Martian from Headhunter's review, okay? I left the link above so you guys can check it out. Trust me, this movie is terrible. And Hunter, he'll show you what he means when you see the video. But yeah, it is bad. It is considered actually one of the worst films of all time. And it's true. But it's not the worst of the worst for the Christmas side. Oh, trust me, we're not close to there yet. So let's go on to number 3, Christmas with the Cranks. Here's another movie that you would think, with Tim Allen involved and Jamie Lee Curtis, you would think they can do a good job with this movie. But nope, they did not. Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis. First of all, here's the problem with this part of the story, this movie, is the fact you have these two married and as a couple. But in this movie, you really don't see any kind of chemistry. I don't see anything that makes them look like they could be married, even in a movie. Doesn't seem to work. And the other acting in this movie is bad, but not as bad as the story. So here's the story. Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, they have a daughter who goes off to Greenpeace. Or some kind of dumb thing. I don't know what it was. But anyways, they decide, well, Tim Allen decides that they should not celebrate Christmas alone at the house, and they should go off on a cruise. You know, spend the holidays together on a cruise ship. You know, just relaxing, going out to on a cruise ship, just to spend time with one another. That sounds great, right? I mean, that's something any couple would do, especially around the holidays, especially if they don't have their kids around. That's something I think anyone would do. But guess what happens? Their neighbors, their co-workers, and their friends hate them because they think that what they're doing is being selfish. Because just because they're not celebrating Christmas, just because they're not putting up decorations, just because they don't put up a freaking Frosty the Snowman decoration out of their house, they are being selfish. Are you freaking kidding me? Now you would think that sounds dumb, but here's the dumb part. The co-workers of Tim Allen, they call him a Grinch. They say terrible things to him just because he's not celebrating Christmas. Their neighbors are outside of their house demanding that they put out the Frosty decoration. And one of the characters actually chases Jamie Lee Curtis, who's in the car, chases after her, demands that she put out the Frosty decoration, and even goes to the point that he puts his hand right on the window as she's rolling it up. You know, you would think you would get your finger out of the way and just get out of the way. No, his finger is stuck in there, and then he falls to the ground, and his gloves are still there. Now, I would think the guy would get run over because he's so close to the car. But no, he isn't, which is a damn shame. But yeah, that's one of the biggest issues, is that this story is so stupid. It's so painful to watch. Nothing about it is funny. And the acting is so dumb too. If you want to get a more idea of how bad it is, check out the Nostalgia Critics review on it. Trust me, it's just as bad as it looks. However, it is not the worst of the worst. And trust me, we're getting close. We're getting so close. Number 2 is Deck the Halls. Whew, I almost put this at number 1, but I decided it should not be in number 1. That's going to be saved for later. So in this movie, we have Danny DeVito playing a character who comes to a new neighborhood and wants to put up Christmas lights all around his home so they can be seen in space. While we have our other main character, played by Matthew Broderick, who hates the guy. He's pretty much our villain in this movie because Matthew Broderick hates that this guy is getting a lot of attention, that he's getting a lot of people to like him, and that takes attention off of him. So he decides he wants to try to embarrass Danny DeVito and make him look bad. But if you've seen this type of movie before, you know how it's gonna end, and you know how things will turn out in the end. And unfortunately, we have to sit to watch this movie for an hour and a half while we see terrible jokes, slapsticks that are not that funny, and it feels like it never ends. Here's actually some comments from people who actually went to see this movie, who actually reviewed it. You cannot believe how excruciatingly awful this movie is. It is bad in a way that will cause unfortunate viewers to huddle in the lobby afterwards, hugging in small groups, consoling one another with the knowledge that it's over. It's over. Thank God it's over. Wow. That is terrible. I mean, Matthew Broderick's been in bad movies, but to have comments like that? That is so bad. And there is no chemistry between Matthew Broderick or even Danny DeVito. Nothing that makes them look like a good duo. They're just bad in this movie. And it's so terrible watching two actors that we know are not that really bad, but are put in movies like this that just makes just make things look bad and makes them look terrible. That's how bad it is, people. That's how bad it is. But it's not the worst of the worst. Now, you would think that was the worst, but trust me, I found one that's even worse. One that is so terrible, so hard to watch, especially because it's a sequel of a much better movie, the 1983 A Christmas Story. Yes, that's right, folks. It had a sequel called A Christmas Story 2 that came out in 2012. This movie takes place years after the first movie, where we focus once again on our main character, Ralphie, who wants to impress this girl that he likes and damages a car, has to pay it off, and in the end, well, of course, get the girl. But what happens during that film is so painful to watch, because everything they're trying to do, they're trying to make it like the first one, but they do it worse. They make it such an insult towards the original. It's so terrible watching something that you used to love and just see it slowly be killed off bit by bit. The story is dumb. The acting is terrible. The characters, you don't even like them at all. Ralphie's character, he's kind of a little pervert when you think about it. No, really. There's a scene in the movie where he is in the band. He's playing those chimes that you just smash together. And he's behind the girl he likes. He's mashing the chimes together. And he leans down, snips her hair, and starts banging those chimes over and over and over and over while thinking about how he's gonna marry her. But the image he gives looks so disturbing, looks so wrong, that it kills anything you liked about the first movie, the original one. I'm not kidding. Nothing about this is good. Nothing about it is funny. It's an insult towards the original. And it's a damn shame coming from the guy, the director, who, mind you, directed the Beethoven movie. What the hell? So then again, he was the same director who was involved in Jingle All the Way, The Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas, and some other terrible movie. But yeah, wow, this was bad. It was really bad. That's why it's number one, because not only was it an insult to the original, but it's an insult to Christmas, really. So, yeah, those are pretty much my top 5 worst Christmas movies, and I suggest you stay away from them. And if you want to get an idea more of how bad this movie is, check out the Nostalgia Critics review of this. I'll leave the link above for this. Hell, I even left the link above for the Cranks movie, so you guys can check out how bad these movies are. So yeah, that's it, everybody. If you have a different opinion about these movies, leave some comments below and let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button, check out my Facebook page as well, and I'll be here next time to give you more love and more entertainment. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.